One of the big things, one of the main things is, where do I work? If I'm out in the country, I'm not going to have a job. Start a YouTube channel. Don't you see all of these people on YouTube who are talking about how much money they're making on the YouTube? YouTube seems to be being really kind right now to a whole lot of smaller channels. Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. I was having a really interesting conversation with one of my colleagues this morning, and they were talking about the fact that they were looking for other employment so that they could basically give themselves a raise. When you are in certain sectors, that's what you have to do. You have to move in order to give yourself a raise. Hence why a lot of people now, particularly a lot of younger people, and this was a younger person, this is why a lot of them will not just stay at a job for decades and build up all of those years, build up a whole bunch of time, never take time off. A lot of the things that, people my age and a little bit older did over the years. But a lot of us would stay at jobs for decades. And things were, different back then. Greed has always been there, but greed is not the same as greed is today. And so that's why I started the video with saying that these people will suck the life out of you. And so this person was talking about the fact that they are degreed, they have their master's degree, and this one place in particular that they were looking to transition to, in the advertisement said that at minimum a 4-year degree was required. This person has a master's degree, which is approximately 6 years for most people. But when the person went into negotiation, the degree all of a sudden did not matter. That's really interesting. So the person ended up turning the job down because there were so many excuses as to why they would not be willing to pay the person the salary that they were requesting versus what their advertisement said. You needed to have a degree, and whatever degree that you had could substitute for the years of experience that they were requesting. And then it made me think about some of the things that they do, trying to have a conversation with other colleagues in the office, some of the management staff, some of the higher level executives. They don't want you even talking to each other in the office because God forbid you have a conversation with somebody. God forbid you even like anybody that's a coworker. They'll even try to make things up to try to make it seem like that there are problems there when there are actually no problems there. And so you have to be sure not to clutter your life with things that don't matter. Don't get caught up into feeling like you need more things in your life than you really need. Do you really need that 6,000 square foot home, or do you just want it because that will make you look good among the masses? That'll make you look good among your friends. That'll make you look good in front of people who don't even like you. So is it something that you really need, or do you not? Before we moved on to our homestead, we have been talking for years about the way that we had so much space and so much extra space to heat, to cool, to clean, to do repairs, to all of this stuff. and how we only used half of our house, especially as our children got older and our children started to leave home. We were really considering downsizing as they moved on with their lives and moved out, because we just were not using all the space. 4-bedroom, there were only going to be 2 of us left. So do we really need all of this space? Or can we make this investment work for us and put the money towards something that we really had been dreaming of for a very long period of time? And so we chose the latter. We chose to buy some land, leave the city. And before I jump into the city, let me just say that a lot of these same jobs want to keep you working so that they can get their agendas met, but you end up not having any time for personal enjoyment. That is one of the things that made me the happiest about leaving the city, is that I was going to have enough time and enough space on our land for personal enjoyment. While others want to make you believe that you're going to leave all the conveniences of the city, what really are the conveniences of the city versus living in the country? If you've ever lived in the country, then you know that there are certain things that are quality of life things that you want anyway over some of the fast food, processed food. You have more time to enjoy getting in the kitchen with your significant other, or getting outside on the grill and enjoying the time that you all get to really spend together, and enjoying cooking together, enjoying making real drinks together, using the fruit that you grow off of your trees to make real drinks together, enjoying time with your family, enjoying being out on the land and not worrying about your kids and your grandkids being approached and being targeted, or your child putting up a lemonade stand without somebody trying to cause trouble. There are so many people around on a daily basis that you can't even enjoy walking out into your yard. And sometimes, you go out into the country cities and, the prices for things are a little bit higher. So you learn how to put those things on your list for when you do go into the city and say, you know what, this bread out here was $4.30. But if I were to go into the city, then I could probably find that bread for $2.99 versus $4.30. Or, God forbid, you have enough time to be able to make that bread for yourself without all of the chemicals, without all of the added harmful ingredients that are put in when it's mass produced. God forbid you have enough time to do that, right? But for the most part, there are very few things that you can't get in the country today, in today's society, because we have those dollar stores that are out in the country. And here in Florida, they even have fresh fruit in those dollar stores. They have fresh vegetables in those dollar stores. And we have plenty of markets. We have plenty of farmers that you can have direct access to. You get to take your pick because there are a lot of them out there. Or better yet, grow your own. Grow what you need yourself until you build to that point where you can have a sustainable amount of food. Then go to the country markets. The country markets are always there. You always have people who are sitting beside the roads that are trying to sell things, that are selling fresh fruit and vegetables, and a lot of the things that we like. So all of your options are not gone just because you don't live in the city. Now, if you're the type of person where you just like to be constantly entertained, you just like to be constantly stimulated in some sort of way, then the city might be for you. But if not, then really truly consider a different alternative lifestyle. where you actually get to have more freedom. You actually get to do your own parties. You get to do things where you don't have to worry about anybody calling the police on you or calling the sheriff on you, because you have your own space. You have your free space where you can really enjoy your loud music. If you're the type that likes loud music, you and your family can get out into the yard and you can play your music and you can dance and you can play your card game and you can play dominoes and you can get as loud as you want out in the country. Or if you're like us and want to put up a shooting range or whatever, you can do all of that stuff. You can have the freedom and flexibility to do all of that stuff and still be able to enjoy your life. So if you're worried about employment, one of the big things, one of the main things is, where do I work? If I'm out in the country, I'm not going to have a job. Start a YouTube channel. Don't you see all of these people on YouTube who are talking about how much money they're making on the YouTube channel? Now, that's not my reality. I don't make a whole lot of money on my YouTube channel, but I make money on my YouTube channel. I don't make as much as I want to make on my YouTube channel, but if you have a great personality and you're an entertaining type of person, you can make money on YouTube. YouTube seems to be being really kind right now to a whole lot of smaller channels. They seem to be, really pushing a lot of the smaller channels, and some of the larger channels are having to work a little bit harder in order to get that attention, keep that attention. So consider that. I see a lot of people on Instagram who's making a lot of money. I see a lot of people on TikTok who's making a lot of money. So we're living in a different type of society where in a lot of cases, you don't really even have to go to a job site anymore. There are some places where they just won't allow you to do telecommuting, work from home jobs, because there are a lot of the older people who are still in their micromanaging, don't want to come to the new world type of space, and they're in those positions that they're stopping progress from happening in certain jobs. But if you go ahead and put your effort and your energy into starting a YouTube channel where yes, you don't get paid but once a month, but if you can put some real effort and some real energy into making your YouTube channel something great or something that is entertaining, then you can really make more than you can make at some of these jobs that are requiring you to work hard and tear your body down. So consider that. That could be something that could be really great for you if you put in the effort, put in the energy, and to build the YouTube channel. And that 10 minutes of time that you put into that YouTube channel, like, you're able to do something that's fun for you, something that makes you feel good, instead of something that is just sucking the life out of you. And so if you're concerned about the amount of rent that you're having to pay, because most people are renters, if you're concerned about that, then you may want to consider moving a little bit further outside of the city. And I live in the South, so we have to have cars down here. But, if you live in a place where you can walk to work or you can take public transportation, then that may not be an option for you unless it's worth it, unless you're saving so much money on your rent that you can put it towards that public transportation, which won't be nearly as high as the rents that you're paying inside of the big cities. So it's just a lot to think about. But really, leave time in for love. Leave time in for relationships with other people. Leave time in for relationships with your children. Being able to sit down with your children and your family and have dinner together, or go out every now and again and let somebody else serve you a nice meal at a nice restaurant, or being able to take a walk around your land. Consider all of that stuff, because let me tell you, these years go by super fast. And one of the things that I know for me that is really important is that we have the personal enjoyment of family time and friends and loved ones who like to visit us on the land. At the end of all of this, that is what is super important. During the times where we're sick, we don't care anything about these jobs. We care about being well so that we can be here long enough to spend some good quality time and make some great memories with our families. So just consider decluttering your life a little bit so that these jobs are not sucking the life out of you, and making sure that you are living the type of life that you want to be living. This life is short. Just enjoy it. I'll see you guys on the next video.